I ended up going to art college after high school. I'd had some roommates that had done some mural work, and I thought, I'm going to give it a try. And long story short, some doors opened for me to be able to do that. And I quickly realized, like, this is a really good space for me. You know, not only am I able to create things that have big impact, I'm also able to build relationships with people and not just work in my basement in the dark by myself and be an island. I really am built to be around people, so it's a good fit. Every project was different, you know, subject matter. You know, I'm working in kids' libraries one day, a restaurant the next, somebody's home the next. I mean, I love impacting a space. I love creating a space that a lot of people can walk through and have it be a safe place for them, a place where they can breathe, take a deep breath. The process that I generally go through is, first of all, you know, having that conversation with the client. What are they trying to accomplish? You know, I have to think about the functionality. I have to think about the demographic that's going to view it. I have to think about context, you know, all of these things. I like to go into the space to feel it out. I like to see who my neighbors are, what's around me, you know, and just really process like an image that is going to not only be beautiful, but functional as well. So those are two important things for me. Once we have decided on a design and I've, you know, created some images for them to approve, then as far as putting it on the wall goes, there's several different ways to do that. It depends on, you know, what kind of surface it is and how much room there is between the surface to do things like project, or if you can't project, then grid, or, you know, do a squiggly grid or whatever they're called, and just freehand it, you know. Sometimes I just have to freehand it. And then, yeah, all different kinds of paint, and there's spray paint and latex paint, and depends again on the surface and how much time I have and the look we're going for. But kind of start to finish, that's the big picture. There was a lot of spray paint involved with the Hilltop mural. That mural was probably the first mural I've done that was pure spray paint, and definitely the biggest mural that I've ever done with that amount of spray paint. We ordered a little over 44 colors. In each color, there were like 6 cans. So there were well over 200 cans of spray paint involved. So with the Free to Be mural, it started off as something where I'm creating and people are walking by, but they don't really see anything happening yet. They just see this girl, you know, with this big piece of equipment. Unfortunately, there were a lot of catcalls, you know. But once the art started to go up, all of a sudden people were engaging with the art. They weren't paying attention to this random girl that they were, you know, curious or confused about. But they were like, wow, like what's happening here? And the art was just starting to like take center stage and, you know, demand attention. It was just fascinating because the way people responded to me, it wasn't about the catcalls or me or whatever, but it was about like, wow, what a beautiful piece of art. And all of a sudden there was just this like air of respect where there hadn't been previously. All of a sudden I hear from behind me, hey, is this your work? Are you painting this? And I was like, why, yes, I am. Her jaw was dropped. She's like looking at the mural, her jaw is dropped. Her daughter's eyes were huge. And they're just staring at it. They're looking at me and staring at the wall. And they're like, this is amazing. I love it. And the little girl was like, Mommy, can I have my picture taken with the artist? You know, it was so precious. I think, you know, it was like she saw someone that looked like her, and that was like really important. You know, we need to see people that look like us. The woman in the mural, her name is Francesca Miller. She is an artist here in Columbus. She's also a very good friend of mine. And I've had the privilege of getting to know her for about 4 years. But one thing I love about Francesca is her resilience and the way that she just has determined to choose hope and choose joy and choose, all those things that we desire. For me, public art is a big responsibility. And I'm not trying to just create images that look cool, or modern or whatever. To me, it's about, what's the purpose of the space, really thinking about the context and creating images that are not coming from a place of anxiety or angst or, you know what I mean? Just to for the sake of coolness. For me, public art, it's really important to create images that are gonna have some sort of positive effect on the people that are gonna encounter it. When I get these opportunities, I'm just over the moon honored, that I'm being trusted with something that has the potential to be hugely, inspiring, impactful, inspirational, all the eyes. And to know that commuters are gonna see it every day, or people in the clubhouse get to see it every day, and it actually can influence their mood and their day and their emotions. It's just a huge honor. My hope for the people that walk by would be that the mural would inspire them to keep moving forward, that the mural would be a place of pause and realignment. Okay, this is actually who I am or what I can be. My circumstances don't define me. I'm so much more than that. I hope that people will look at it and just feel some spark of hope to keep moving forward.